What's up everyone, and welcome back to the Bold and the Beautiful 24 official channel. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button today. Let's get started. Liam's memory loss after surgery believes he's still married to Hope? The Bold and the Beautiful hint that Liam Spencer could suffer some memory loss after his next surgery. Will Liam wake up believing he's still married to Hope Logan? B&B fans know Liam has signed up for a dangerous procedure that could easily go wrong. Although Liam will survive the surgery ahead, that doesn't mean he'll come out of this exactly the same man he was before. Liam Spencer's fate takes a dramatic and potentially heartbreaking turn on the Bold and the Beautiful, as whispers of post-surgical memory loss start swirling like storm clouds over his already fragile future. Having undergone a highly experimental brain surgery, one so secretive and risky that it was hidden from even close family and friends, Liam's life hangs in a strange balance. While the initial word from Dr. Grace Buckingham and her quiet companion Adhikari was that the surgery had successfully removed the tumor, the true complications were yet to manifest. Liam, unconscious and vulnerable, was swept away from the surgical center by Bill Spencer in what can only be described as a reckless and desperate act of love. But the biggest twist isn't his disappearance, it's what might happen once Liam opens his eyes again. The complexity of Liam's operation makes it all the more plausible that he may experience memory loss, as has been suggested by sources in the plot. Brain surgeries, especially those involving experimental techniques and risky incisions, are notorious for triggering amnesia, personality shifts, or even regression. And what if, when Liam wakes up, he genuinely believes he's still married to Hope Logan? Hope's world and her tentative romantic future with Carter Walton would both be disrupted by this twist's implications for the story. Fans recall that Liam had already accepted his death. In one of his final conscious acts before surgery, he urged Hope to find happiness with Carter. It was a selfless act from a man preparing to die, a man who didn't want Hope to mourn him forever. But what happens when that man survives and wakes up with a brain locked in the past? It would be an emotional minefield for everyone involved. Imagine Liam regaining consciousness, his eyes fluttering open, and the first words he speaks are, "Hope? Where are we going for our anniversary dinner?" Hope would be devastated and confused. While she may have moved on and started opening her heart to Carter, the reappearance of the man she once deeply loved and who now believes they're still married could cause her to waver. At first, she might chalk it up to temporary confusion, a passing phase of post-surgical haze. But what if Liam is persistent, recalling their shared memories, their wedding day, Beth's birth, and 1,000 little details with perfect clarity except for the part where they divorced? The drama intensifies when Hope's empathy kicks in. She doesn't want to hurt Liam, especially in his fragile state. Doctors might caution against correcting his memory too forcefully, fearing mental or emotional collapse. This would trap Hope in a devastating moral quandary. Does she play along to protect Liam's mind or shatter his illusion to honor her new love with Carter? Carter, meanwhile, would be left reeling. Always the composed, noble partner, Carter Walton would now find himself on the sidelines again. The man who tried so hard to be Hope's rock now watches as she slowly pulled back into Liam's orbit. To make matters worse, Carter might witness moments between them, Liam reaching for Hope's hand, smiling at her like it's 2019, telling her how much he loves her all while Hope struggles to keep emotional boundaries. Steffy Forrester, not to be forgotten. Though not romantically involved with Liam at the moment, Steffy has always had deep emotional ties to him, as the father of her child and a pivotal figure in her past. The knowledge that Liam believes he's still with Hope could rattle her, especially if it affects his role in their daughter Kelly's life. What if Liam forgets Steffy altogether or thinks Kelly is Hope's daughter, not theirs? Meanwhile, Bill Spencer, the man who would die for his son, is about to discover the cost of his impulsive choices. He took Liam from the clinic under the belief that he was saving him, offering him sanctuary and safety. But now, with Liam living in a past that doesn't exist, Bill might have to admit he made things worse. He'll be caught between guilt and desperation, wanting to undo the damage but not knowing how. And then there's Grace, basking in her so-called victory. Was this the outcome she anticipated? Was her experimental approach really a success, or is this fractured memory a sign of catastrophic failure masked by short-term results? Other characters begin to react. Brooke Logan sees echoes of the past and worries for her daughter. She urges caution but sees how easily Hope's feelings could reignite. Ridge Forrester wonders if this is karma for all the manipulations and half-truths the Spencer and Logan clans have endured. Even Thomas Forrester, though distant from this love triangle lately, might see a chance to wedge further emotional chaos, especially if he believes Hope's drawn back to Liam. As days turn to weeks, Liam shows no signs of regaining his full memory. He continues to believe he and Hope are a couple, and his every action reflects that delusion. He brings her flowers, tries to make plans, reminisces about old trips, and expresses heartbreak over their non-existent marital problems. Each moment forces Hope to confront her feelings. Was she really over Liam? Or had she just forced herself to move on when she thought he was dying? At one point, Liam might even try to kiss Hope, catching her off guard. She pulls away, conflicted but shaken. Later, she cries alone, not just because of the confusion, but because a part of her misses the man Liam once was, the version that now sits before her like a ghost of their better days. Meanwhile, Carter sees this distance growing between them. At first, he doesn't say anything, but he starts to notice that his relationship with Hope is deteriorating. Medical experts are brought in. Finn and Bridget begin working with Grace to determine the extent of Liam's amnesia. It becomes clear that while the tumor is gone, neural pathways may have been disrupted. Grace insists this condition could be temporary, but the truth is, no one knows. The brain is unpredictable, especially when treated with experimental surgery. Eventually, Liam finds an old photo, one that doesn't match the reality in his mind. Confused, he confronts Hope. She gently explains the truth. They divorced. He had a relationship with Steffi afterward. She moved on with Carter. The heartbreak on Liam's face is almost too much to bear. He does not comprehend. He remembers loving Hope. He recalls selecting her. Everything else is a blank. It's a pivotal moment. Will Liam accept this truth, or will he spiral into denial? Will Hope comfort him and find herself pulled into the dangerous tide of old emotions? And what will Carter do when he realizes that Liam's return has undone everything he's worked for? The road ahead is perilous. Liam's memory loss could reset years of emotional growth or present a rare opportunity for forgiveness, healing, and a second chance. But if The Bold and the Beautiful has taught viewers anything, it's that every choice has a cost, every miracle comes with strings, and love is never as simple as remembering who you are. Or who you were. We're talking about an operation on Liam's brain that's in the very early stages of development. The fact that everything has to be kept a secret says a lot about the level of risk here. It's possible Liam could end up stuck in a coma for a while, which could give Hope and Steffi Forrester yet another reason to blame Bill Spencer for causing Liam harm. However, the show could take Liam's storyline in another direction, one that would have a huge impact on Hope's love story with Carter Walton. When Liam thought his grim fate was inevitable, he pushed Hope to patch things up with Carter. Liam wanted to make sure Hope had someone special in her life once he was no longer around. Now that Liam is undergoing this scary brain surgery, we have to consider the possibility of some memory loss. Liam's tumor may be removed, but what if he suffers at least partial amnesia as a result? It'd be interesting if Liam woke up believing he was still married to Hope. The show's done similar stories in the past, like when Steffi awoke mistakenly thinking Liam was still her husband after Sheila Sharp fired at her in the alley along with John Finn Finnegan. Perhaps it'll be Liam's turn to awaken thinking that Hope is his wife. Liam's mind could revert to a time when he was happily married to Hope, so what might her reaction be to that news? Hope would be thrown for a loop at first, but she might ultimately come around on the idea of a new beginning with Liam. Even after Liam learns how their marriage fell apart, he might assure Hope that he doesn't care and just wants a future together. Carter may fear he's going to lose Hope to Liam once he gets another chance at life. That's especially true if Liam's memories get messed with and he believes he's still Hope's hubby.